Hello and welcome to this week's engineering announcements from the IBA. Today, radio, and we see how the radio data system, R.D.S for short, makes it easier to find stations on VHF FM. The IBA's Uplink at Chilworth was officially opened by His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent last week. We have a report. Independent Local Radio and West Sound are opening a new service for Dumfries and Galloway. There's also another community station due shortly, Centre Sound in Stirling. In transmitter news, this week's work affecting existing stations and details of a new television relay, Uplemore in Strathclyde. Radio Data System, R.D.S, is a new system gradually being introduced across Europe. It's designed to make it easier to find radio services on the VHF FM band with special receivers automatically selecting the strongest signal. R.D.S radios include a display that shows the frequency of the station tuned in, and also the name of the station. It does this by using digital information broadcast inaudibly alongside normal stereo radio programs.
The system works by adding a low-level 57 kHz subcarrier to the stereo multiplex. This carries digital data at a rate of just under 1200 bits per second. It's at a low level and causes a maximum deviation of the main FM carrier of just plus or minus 2 kHz. The subcarrier itself is amplitude modulated with a biphase coded data signal, a form of two-phase phase shift keying. It doesn't affect ordinary radios.
One of the main benefits of R.D.S will be for the car listener. It'll mean you can continue listening to a particular radio service without having to keep retuning manually. Once tuned to a particular station, digital data tells the radio what other frequencies carry the same service. The R.D.S receiver continually scans the alternative frequencies and automatically selects the strongest signal. The only way the motorist would know there's been a change is by looking at the frequency display.
But R.D.S can do even more. It can automatically detect traffic announcements. For example, if you happen to be listening to the cassette player, it can be made to switch over to the radio, just for the traffic news. And after it's over, it'll switch back to the cassette player again. If you just want to listen out for travel news, you press a special button marked TP, which stands for Travel Programme, and the radio will search for any station carrying traffic news.
Recently introduced in and around London on a trial basis has been a new facility to allow listeners to select alternative ILR stations while on the move, at the push of a button. Particularly useful if you're driving around the area covered by the M25, which contains 9 different ILR services. As you cross from the area covered by one station to another, you can push a button to select the next ILR station or be given a choice of stations appropriate to where you are at the time. To make use of this particular facility, the R.D.S radio needs the appropriate software.
And while the first R.D.S radios are for car reception, it's likely that domestic fixed or portable radios will also become available. And that'll make tuning and program identification on the increasingly crowded VHF FM band much easier for all listeners.
And we'll be looking at how R.D.S works in practice in a later program. A different set of problems has been overcome at the IBA's Chilworth Uplink site, which was officially opened by His Royal Highness the Duke of Kent last week. Lieutenant Colonel Sir James Scott, the Lord Lieutenant of Hampshire, greeted the Duke before introducing him to the IBA's Director of Engineering, Dr. John Forrest. Also there, the IBA's Chairman, George Russell, Brian Salkeld, Head of Satellite Engineering, and Dave Hinchcliffe, who was in charge of the Chilworth project. After the opening ceremony, the Duke of Kent, who has strong links with the electronics industry, was shown how BSB's pictures are first encoded into MAC before transmission. The exit from the MAC building provided a vantage point to view the whole site, including the cabin containing the high-power microwave transmitters and tracking equipment. A detailed explanation of the dish aerials was given by Roger Spencer, the maintenance manager responsible for the Chilworth Uplink, the first of its type designed for unattended operation. His Royal Highness received a commemorative souvenir album before leaving for a private visit to the IBA's engineering headquarters at Crawley Court. This week's transmitter news now, starting with Winter Hill in Lancashire, where Granada and Channel 4 are continuing on reduced power for aerial replacement work. In the Outer Hebrides, Grampian and Channel 4 from the Aitchel transmitter will be on reduced power from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. today and tomorrow, and off the air on Thursday morning from 9 until 11:30 for electrical maintenance. In South Wales, HTV and S4C from Abertredor near Caerphilly will be off from 9:30 to 10:30 this morning for an electrical inspection. The Castleton relay in North Yorkshire will be off this afternoon from 2:30 to 3:30 due to work by the Electricity Board. Tomorrow morning, HTV and S4C from the Mucken Upper relay to the east of Caerphilly will be off from 9:30 to 10:30, again for an electrical inspection. Also tomorrow, the Ynys relay serving the Aberfan area will be off on all channels from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. for Electricity Board work. On Thursday morning, HTV and S4C from Taffs Well, southwest of Caerphilly, will be off from 9:30 to 10:30 for an electrical inspection. And on Friday morning, HTV and S4C from Trefechan, near Merthyr Tydfil, will be off from 9:30 to 10:30, again for an electrical inspection. Finally, looking ahead to next Monday, all ITV transmitters in the Granada area will be off in the early hours from 4 until 6 to enable work to proceed on the aerial and mast lamps at Winter Hill. Independent local radio next, and trade test transmissions are now underway from Hazelshire Hill near Dumfries for a new station on 97.2 MHz VHF with vertical polarization. Programmes from South West Sound are due to begin next Monday the 21st at midday. From 6 to 9 a.m. and noon to 3 p.m. there will be local programming, and at other times this station will broadcast the West Sound service from air. The coverage area includes Dumfries, Lochmaben, Lockerbie, Annan and the Solway Firth as far south as Silloth and Beckfoot. There's also a new community station for Stirling, Centre Sound. The transmitter at Earls Hill to the southwest of Stirling is now on test on 96.7 MHz with vertical polarization. Programmes of easy listening music and general interest information for the local population with news bulletins from ITN are due to begin at 6 a.m. on the 4th of June. A new television relay due on the air next week has been built at Uplemore in Strathclyde to extend the UHF service to a population of about 480 in the villages of Uplemore and Lugton. An additional 20 people who receive a marginal service from Black Hill will also benefit from this station. Scottish television programmes will be on Channel 61 with Channel 4 on 54. Group CD aerials are required with vertical polarization. Uplemore is due on the air at the end of next week. And that's all for this week, but do get in touch if you have any technical queries on independent broadcasting. Our address, Engineering Information, Independent Broadcasting Authority, Crawley Court, Winchester, Hampshire, SO21 2QA. Our telephone number is Winchester, that's 0962 822 444. Office hours are 8:30 to 4:30. At other times there's an answering machine. And during office hours, you can make it a local call from anywhere in the country by dialing our link line. That's 0345 078787. We hope you'll set your VCRs for next Tuesday morning at 5:45, but in the meantime, from Mari Nicholson and from me, Adrian Good, goodbye from Crawley Court.